It's going. You can hear me?
This magic moment, so different and
Go back. We got
like any other, until I kiss
left.
you, and then it happened. It took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too. By the look
My
in
intro
your eyes,
started.
sweeter than wine.
We're amateurs is what we are.
We are amateurs.
Manway's not, and he's still having trouble.
Yep.
He will be a cornerstone piece for me for years to come.
I see John in last place. Is that bad? I
There, Marcus, that's not what we do. We just want to trade fair and square.
I'm not a math guy, boys, but that's a 40% strikeout rate, and that is insane.
You like the experience, you
10.
like the upside, and you like the injury prone.
Vanway,
Yo.
you'll finish 11th.
We are back. Welcome to Season 7 of the Sandlot Dynasty League. Kind of crazy that we're sitting here 1 month away, officially 1 month away from opening day, and we are starting Season 7 of the Sandlot Dynasty League. That's crazy. Long off season for me, personally. Second place doesn't sit well, and won't really say who got first.
We already found out who got first. We don't.
I won't say, but we have a lot in store for you today. We're going to talk about the draft, going to talk about keepers, and just the future of this season. Really excited to dive into the podcast, and it's just good to be back on the podcast. Really, I mean, it's been a long off season, and it's just good that baseball's back, and then the Sandlot Dynasty League's back. We're 3 days away from 2 days and 23 hours and 32 minutes and 13 seconds away as I'm talking right now from draft. So it's here. It's officially here and it feels good. Vanway, how you feeling?
Feel good coming off a championship, so feeling really good. No, I'm excited. I actually am very distracted. I don't have a lot of confidence going into the draft but it's for a good reason. Got a kid on the way. Could be here literally tonight, tomorrow, next week, anytime. It's funny because I think Jared's in the same boat. So we just have a lot of excitement going on. So it was fun getting to prep today during lunch for the podcast, getting all this back and going. So this has been it's been fun diving back into this and kind of doing a little research for everything through the podcast. So that's been fun.
I remember last year, and I don't know if it was the first or the second podcast. Maybe it was the post-draft podcast. But John and I were talking about, we had a busy offseason. Last offseason, I think, and I'm probably going to mess this up, but last offseason, Nate got married.
Yeah.
Last offseason, Clayton got married. This offseason, Clayton had twins. We had a baby. Luke had a baby. You're having a baby.
Lots of babies.
Like, it's just, if you go back 7 years ago to when we first started, like now we're all dads. Like then, the only dad was really Marcus and John. But now it's like we're all dads and it feels kind of weird, but still the passion for the Sandlot Dynasty League has not changed. It's not wavered one bit.
No.
But it's just a little different now,
Yeah, and it's funny. We were supposed to be live, and we're not. We're live. We're not in person, and I think that just shows you how before, if we weren't in person, we wouldn't have been able to do this, and now we've grown and been able to do a lot more remote stuff, and I think that fits our lives right now pretty well. But it just shows you that no matter what you're throwing at us, we're still gonna find a way to just make this league fun. So.
I mean, 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, it's not stopping us. It's not stopping us. So
we're having a good time.
always. And I enjoy doing this. It's something that I know we both enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy this season 7 of the Sandlot League. And I really feel like last year, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like last year was the best year of our podcast. I felt like we were consistent, and I felt like we finally went through the majority of the season. A couple years prior, we would start the podcast, and by week 6, it would kind of die off. But I feel really, really do, without checking, but I feel like last year we
Yeah.
kind of went through the season of the podcast.
Yeah, and it's getting easier because we can do stuff like this. So we just have to have a night where we can do it. Um, and it's nice because we have the technology now. We don't have to be in person.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's getting a lot easier. And what's nice is we have a lot of stuff already made up, and I'm getting better at a lot of this stuff, so it comes a lot quicker. Yeah, we have fun doing it. But getting our first topic, I think getting in our first topic right off the bat, championship. Uh, I think it's good preseason to run through the champions. And I think I'm not doing this selfishly or inflict. I think it's just good to let's look at who hasn't won and who has won, and kind of reflect on the years before we hop into 2026. So uh, obviously that first championship, what do you remember from it?
I remember that I knew nothing about fantasy baseball, and
Yes.
that our draft. I remember I don't know, were you in St. Louis at the time too? Because I
Yeah.
know I was. I know, yeah. So like we were like in St. Louis, and I remember like where exactly I was. We were going to draft, and for some reason, like we were all together, and the draft didn't work. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember that.
Yeah.
It didn't work, and so I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I was like, all right, let's just reconvene for tomorrow. So then we all came back the next day, and the draft still was not ideal. I think last year we're finally getting the hang of it. But I remember those early on drafts were never good. And shout out to ESPN for not making it easy on us. But I remember that. I remember um, Marcus won, right?
Yep, Marcus was our champion in 2020. So what's funny, and I did this on the graphic just to throw a little shade. He a unique fact about him being the champion is he has the only silver trophy. But we all know why it's silver, right?
Yeah.
It's because it was a short season, so it doesn't really count. So even on my graphic on here, I got it as a silver trophy because I mean, he still hasn't won in a full season. So uh, he'll hate that shade. But he was our first champion, and that first season was just filled with. It was kind of exciting. Like I kind of like to run it back. Some
Yeah.
might say it's harder. I don't know. It's a lot more less of a grind and a lot more of go straight to getting it. I don't know. It's a completely different way of managing. So
Well, I can tell you this. So that year we played a total of
I think it was
um,
5 or 6 weeks.
we only had 84 categories
Yeah,
total. Like how like it has like the record. So
yeah.
that was all the categories scored. Last year we had 252.
Jeez.
So it was, I mean, about a third
Yeah,
of the season. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, like it's hard because again, to put an asterisk on it, we all had the same opportunity. We all had like it wasn't just unfair for Mark. It wasn't just short for Mark. It was short for all of us. It's just if you have a second half to that season, what's the league look like? Does
Yeah.
one team get hot or I mean, it's just
yeah. It's
it's
crazy.
tough.
Uh, so that was a unique year. And then 2021 comes around. I think a lot of people have a lot better idea of the league. We're still working through our stuff. I got the championship in 2021, and at the time, I was like, "This is my team is legit. I'm gonna be good for a long time." And then obviously there was a lot of things happen where I trade a lot of my good players. And 2022, John comes in first, feeling good. That was the championship I was also in. It was me versus John, and John's team was just on fire that postseason. I mean, John's always had a good team. I think that's something we can both say. But that's the only time he's been in a couple championships and he got it done that time. So 2023, you're a little more familiar with. I'll let you.
Yeah, that was my year finally. If you look at the standings in 2022, you know that I got 10th place in the regular season.
I've never heard that before. There's no way. That's crazy.
It's been a while. But then, I was nervous because the prior years, I was the first one to win the regular season and the championship. And so I was a little nervous kind of going into the playoffs with that mindset, change my name. And I think that helped. Helped. Change my name to the President's Trophy Curse, which if you guys are familiar with hockey, you know that's what the regular season champ gets. And so, I think, and what's crazy is I really think my team last year was better than my 2023 team. So that's kind of what's frustrating that I didn't win last year. But
ran into a just dominant team.
I was the Texas Rangers 2011, and you were the St. Louis Cardinals.
So what's interesting though is in 2024 you were kind of in the same boat with a just star-studded team. Ohtani, I mean, your team was as good as it's ever been, and Clayton's team was just on a tear. Kind of same situation. And
I think
go ahead.
If we look back at playoff runs, I think this is the best one. Clayton beat me in the first round, beat Marcus in the second round. No, beat John in the second round, and then beat Marcus in the championship game. And all three had been winners previously. And like that, I did have a really good team that year. I ended up getting third by a half a game. I've been screwed by half a game in this league way too many times. But yeah, I got third by half a game and then lose to stinking Clayton. He was the 6th seed. And he beats me, then beats John, and beat Marcus. So I really do think, like, if we talk playoff runs, that's probably one of the best ones.
Yeah. And something else on that, was that the first year of, I think it was. That was the first year of the expansion too.
Yes. Yep.
So that's the first year we even have 6 playoff teams. Clayton comes in as the 6th seed and wins, which is nuts. There's this thing scrolling, and you can't see it, but you will whenever you watch it on YouTube, and it says the Weird baseball team GM on the hot seat after back-to-back disappointing losses in the ship. Is everything going all right in your organization, or what's the vibe coming into year 2027 or 2026?
Vibes. I wonder if I can do this here. John will like this. Can I turn this here? You definitely cannot see that. Okay. That sign says good vibes. It says good vibes. And that's my team going into 2026. No pressure. Do we feel the heat? Absolutely. But I was watching a Brad Underwood press conference today talking about upcoming Michigan, and someone asked him, Underwood, what do you think about the current Big Ten standings? Michigan's first, Illinois second. He goes, I couldn't tell you what the Big Ten standings were. He goes, I don't care about that. He goes, I just care about our next opponent. And that's kind of the mindset we have. We don't care about what the media's saying. We don't care about what Van Way's saying or texting other people, telling them not to trade with me. We don't care about that stuff. We just care about 2026. I thought the GM thought that we should get away Judge. Nope. We're keeping Judge. We're winning this year, and all's going to be right in the Valier land. So
that rumor on the bottom of the screen going on right now is that Judge is on the move, and that's not true?
No, I almost had to deal with him. I say almost. I don't know how close Preston was to accepting, but it was earlier this week. Preston and I were talking about Judge and potentially the 1-1. And, we had some conversations back and forth. And I think Preston being slow to text back that night helped me think a lot, because I was really gung-ho about trading Judge. And because I'm all about value, and I think I could trade Judge right now for his peak value. And if I hold on to him after this year, obviously his value is going to go down. And so I was like, I need to get rid of Judge. I need to get rid of Judge. Is he going to have 50 home runs this year? Absolutely. Is he going to have 130 RBIs? Yes. I was like, I need to get rid of him now to maximize some value. And I said, you know what? No. Preston not texting me back like quickly because I was so motivated. In that moment, I was like, I have to get rid of him. But then I was like, no, I need to take a step back. I was like, he could really benefit my team this year. I'm willing to risk losing a championship or losing in a playoff round because I wouldn't go into full rebuild mode. I'd go into kind of semi-rebuild mode if I were to trade Judge for like the 1-1 and another player. But I wanted to keep Judge and just kind of keep him and Otani and Soto and Bobby Witt as my core four and just kind of see where they take me this year.
Go ahead and center back up your camera, but we're gonna see later on. I almost didn't put. You need to go more that way. You're about to come off the screen. There you go. I didn't put Judge on your keepers list because I was just convinced he wasn't going to be on your team at the end of before the draft. So I guess we'll see.
I could say this. I would still trade Judge. The price would just have to be right. But I will admit, out of the 12 teams in our league, I texted 6 about Judge. So I would say that probably the chances are slim because I do want a lot for Judge, and I think that's understandable. But
yeah,
I think he can be fine. He'll be fine. Maybe he'll win me another ship and ride off into the sunset his last couple years of his prime.
So
I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
So I posted on Facebook our top, I posted the keeper rankings based on the top 50. All right. And so I'm pulling this up real fast.
So so is this a keeper's topic or are we?
What are you on right now? Which slides are you on?
Well, we're gonna be on keepers after we talk about the beginning of the season. Like, are you good? Or is this a keeper? You didn't get the rundown.
No, yeah. Well, I'll bring this up later.
All right. So season 7 is loading. Feel good about it. Feel anything commissioner wise? Anything changing? What's the layout?
I think this is the first year that we did not change anything. Everything stayed the same. It's nice that this will be year 3 of the 12-team league, and I think that since we've added 2 new teams, the league has been better. I really like the 12-team format. I like the 6 teams getting the playoffs, and I like that the 1 and 2 seed gets the bye. I think like last year, like our league is so competitive no matter how many teams we have, but right now with 12, it's been super competitive. And someone we need to throw flowers to, and I don't want to because he screwed me out of a trade, is Stevie. We go back to 2024, Stevie's first year, he gets 11th by like him and PB were pretty close. No, I'm sorry. He finished 12th.
He was better than 11th.
What was he?
He was better than 11th, huh? Was he 11th?
I think he was 12th.
PB was 11th. He didn't get last.
Who has Holiday?
He does. Stevie.
Okay, so Stevie got 11th. And then last year, Stevie went from 11th to playoffs. And so I think this year I'm curious to see in year 3 of his, I'm probably lagging.
You are a little bit. Now you're good.
I'm sorry. But no, year 3 of Stevie, I'm curious to see where he goes. I'm curious to see if PB can take the jump this year, make the jump to, top 9, top 8, kind of build for the future here. So,
I mean, Stevie's team's a legit contender this year. I think that's a legitimate thing. I don't know if PB is a top 9 team yet. I don't, I don't know. I think he's still towards the bottom. Depends how he drafts, obviously. I think the draft has a big thing to do with that. But uh, overall, yeah, I think I'm super excited about this year. Now, there's some rumors going around. A lot of people in the league probably heard some rumors about a expansion. Do you kind of want to talk on that at all before the
Yeah,
draft?
so I think one thing about our league being so popular amongst other people is that a lot of people want to join the league. And I had someone come to me and was like, I want to be in this league so bad. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, we can't just expand by one team. We can expand by two. And I talked to Van Way a lot, and it was like, what can we do to get to 14 teams? And we talked about shrinking roster sizes a little bit to make sure we didn't roster no name guys. And thought about it for several days, and I was just like, we've only had 2 full seasons of 12 teams. I just think that now is not the time to expand because I think we're in a really good place with our league, and I didn't want to. And again, I think adding teams, I am all for always adding teams. I think adding teams, like the MLB is going to add 2 new teams here in a couple of years. I think adding teams is good. But adding good people, good managers to a league, to our league, I think would be beneficial. But I think now is not the time. And so I decided to just kind of hold off and pause that adventure. And I'm not saying that that's not going to happen in the future, but as of right now, I think it's nice to have some continuity with 12 teams, and nothing's changed in this offseason, nothing drastic, which I feel like we've had the past couple off seasons have been drastic changes. And so, yeah, the idea of a 14, the idea of the expansion, I was so excited for, but I just think the timing is off.
Yeah, I think either way would have been great, but I'm excited to run it back again this year. Obviously, this format did well for me last year, so I'm excited to hopefully get a run it back again. So, who is your team you are watching in year 7? A team that maybe not going to win, maybe not going to, but a team that gives you excitement in year 7.
I want to say a team that I think it kind of is exciting because this is year 7 and you're the only repeat winner. And so I think a team that's not won yet that could win is Luke's team. If
Yep.
you look at his team that he inherited from Derek, it was not very good. And so it's taken Luke a couple of years, but now I'm very scared of his team. I think legit that he can win the championship. If he's not the favorite, he's close to it. And if he can stay healthy, I know he had some injuries to his better players last year. Lindor's hurt right now with that hamate bone. Alvarez was hurt last year. I think Harper was a little hurt last year too.
Yeah.
And so if he can just stay healthy, I think he has one of the best chances. I know he doesn't have a pick early on in the draft. Curious to see if that'll change as we approach the drafts coming up in a couple days. But I'm excited for his team just because I know he's a perfect example of if you do things right, a rebuild might take a couple of years, but if you do it the right way, you'll be a championship contender in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to give him his flowers here in a few segments. So, because we both agree, I think his keepers are unreal. So, a team I'm excited to just continue to see. This is for the other way around. I'm excited to see Nate. I'm excited to see how bad his team's going to be this year. I just don't, with the with the injury that he had this offseason. I mean, it's gonna be hard for him to win. I know he has a few good pitchers and some other bats, but his team looks rough. And I will just continue to go back to the Otani trade when he tanked his team. He tanked it, and we obviously don't have to live there. But that is an exciting story that I'm excited to follow.
I think there are four. I think there are 4 guarantees of life now, and they're death, taxes, and you talked about mine and Van Way's team.
And
Or not
Vanway's team, absolutely. I can talk about that team
Nate's
all
team.
the time.
Nate's team.
You just ruined the clip. You ruined the clip. We would have had an awesome clip to advertise this, and you ruined it.
well, I can do it again.
So, all right. So, what is
I,
let's just move on to keepers. What are teams you like? What are teams that I have four teams that I really broke down the keepers in. And I really like these four teams. Obviously, I think they're the best keepers. That's why I did it. But go ahead with your initial thoughts.
my initial thought is I'm kind of surprised by Logan's keepers and how many top tier keepers he has. And he can mesh that with his draft picks. He's got a lot of early picks in the first and second round. Maybe this is the year that things go right for Logan.
What do you think Logan's doing with that first pick? Because it's early,
Um,
or it's
I'm
late. No,
not-
he has the later one.
yeah, but his like in his first round, like things he should target are in. Obviously, he needs heavy pitching. He has two pitchers right now, or he has two pitchers that are injured right now with McClanahan, which I don't know if his is serious.
Which McClanahan hasn't done anything.
And
I mean-
he's not even pitched. He didn't even pitch last year. So Jared Jones is on the 60 IL. And then his other pitcher is Mackenzie Gore, which I like Mackenzie Gore, but his offense is fine. His offense, he doesn't even need to touch his offense, but he needs to go starting pitching.
So I have
And
his
so-
team pulled up here. His pitching.
Yeah.
His pitching's rough. Mackenzie Gore, Shane McClanahan hasn't pitched in 2 years, and Jared Jones. I think I know where every single one of his picks should go in the first 5 rounds, right? Like, I mean, his hitting is legit, especially after doing some trades with me. Like, actually, really legit. So yeah, that's an interesting team for sure.
I'm gonna pull up the draft list. And whenever I'm upstairs using two monitors, and it's like whenever I try to do something on the other monitor, I lag a little bit. So if I lag, that is why.
Here, I can
But
just pull it up.
I think,
Oh, you got to talk about it too, I guess.
yeah, I think Logan's in a good spot. I really do. And maybe this is the year that things go right for Logan. And I feel like we say that a lot, but this could be the year. And he's a team I'm excited for. I really am.
Yeah, so Logan has the second overall pick, and then he has the 12th overall pick in the first round. So he has 2 picks in the first round, and I think we're both agreed that he's going pitching. So I mean, just some interesting. There's really good pitchers on the board. Like there really is, and we can throw those up right now, or we're talking about keepers. We can throw that up in the draft. But there's really good pitchers on the board. We're going to talk about that later. I think Logan's going to have an opportunity to be, yeah, like you said, really good. Okay, so how I did this, I kind of put my top 4 keepers, and obviously people are going to debate them, but that's fine because that's what this is all about. So my first overall keeper is obviously your team. I think you can't beat Paul Skeens, Ohtani, Juan Soto, and Bobby Witt, and you're keeping Judge. So I mean that's pretty solid. You got anything on that? There's not much to talk about with that.
So Skeens, Judge, Ohtani, Soto, Bobby Witt. Are those all 5 first round players in a redraft league?
I think if not first round, definitely first and second. Definitely.
If I lose, I'm selling.
I mean, you've lost. Here's the thing, though. You've lost several years.
I've lost
So-
2 in a row.
It's something that is constantly bothers me how good your team is, but then you aren't winning in the postseason. So I guess I have no fruit for my negative thoughts.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If like I talk about the top 50 players, like I've got those 5 guys who are top 10, top 12, but like the other 2 guys I have, they're in the top 50. Like they're not as high. But then like Luke has more guys in the top 50 than I do. So Like I
Yeah, so
like
yeah, so
Luke's
you
keeper.
you transitioned pretty well. So Luke was my number two team. I think Luke's like you said, his team has a lot. He has a large pool of players in that top 100. I would even go there. He has a large pool of players in the top 50 too, but I think top 100 is everyone on his keepers list. Um, Now here's the thing: he's got some big years for Woods, like is James Wood. He struggled second half last season. Big reason why Luke struggled in the postseason. Is he gonna figure it out, or did they figure him out? And then you have Jordan Alvarez. Is he gonna be healthy? Is Harper gonna stay healthy? You have Torkelson, who's had a lot of ups and downs. So I guess there is, and I think these are the reasons why Luke is still not been, you know, consistently really good because his team is consistently filled with really good players, but they haven't consistently performed. So, what are your thoughts on boom or bust for a lot of these guys?
I think he has one of those teams that's like he has a high floor, but he doesn't necessarily have a high ceiling. And so I think that's like I would bet a lot of money that he'll make the playoffs. And he'll be a top 3 seed in the playoffs. But how his team does in the playoffs, that's a different conversation to have because you never know how Harper's going to do. Like he could have a bad week. He could have a 10 home run week, or he could have a 0 home run week, and like he's like I don't know. I still don't know if I trust Torkelson that much. And like you said, rumor has it that he actually named his kid after James Wood and not Tiger Woods. But uh, we'll see. Maybe if James Wood has a good year, we can argue that with a little more. But he also is in a bad spot because Pablo Lopez is not going to pitch this year, and so that kind of hurts his keepers because now he's essentially only keeping 13. And I
And
think
his pitching is his definite lesser. I mean, his pitching's still good. He's got Hunter Brown, who's a freaking chief. But I think it's definitely not in the top three of the league. Like, I don't think his pitching is a top three team. So he definitely relies heavily on his pitch or on his hitting. Um, and when these guys hit, I mean, good luck beating them. I think the only team that on paper could beat him when they're hitting is your team, offensively. So I mean, yeah, just stacked keepers. All right, this is the one that's going to cause controversy, but I'm obviously going to put my keepers up there because I think they're solid. I think pitching wise, I think I'm the best in the league. From starting pitching to closers after I kept everyone on my closers. I think I'm right up there. I think DeGrom, Crochet, and Strider are without question the top three trio in the league. Um, a lot of people may question that, but I'm not. I'm not going to question that. So, and then the great addition of Pete Alonso, the person who probably was responsible for giving me a championship last year, along with Freddie Freeman as well. I like my roster a lot. I don't know. I think it's top three. Some may disagree. Here's the disagreement. Jordan's about to go off on it right now.
I do disagree with you. I think you kept way too many relievers. Because like you can always find relievers, and the reason why I kind of like the reason why saves plus holds are so important is because guys like Johan Duran that you have for the Phillies, like he's an absolute stud. But in a categories league, you can go find some seventh inning guy for the Minnesota Twins, and he could provide just as much value. And that's why I'm not really the biggest fan of you keeping 4 relievers. Like I get it, like you kind of went all in, and so you had to go all in on them. Like none of these relievers that you kept are in the like maybe Munoz, but like
They're
I
all
don't know.
top five relievers. I mean, they're top eight at least.
Yeah,
Here's my argument on why I did this. I think if you're gonna go all in on pitching, what's the most annoying thing is whenever you have a really good pitching staff who's putting up numbers, um, and and then you have relief pitchers who are just tanking your ERA and WHIP. So being able to do with Wanderon, it allowed the opportunity Wanderon and David Bednar and Munoz and Hader. My ERA, I think, is going to be a lot more controlled than other people who are trying to constantly find those things on the waiver wire.
I get that. I get that. But like, I don't know. I like Freeman and I like Alonso, but other than that, your offense, you're really banking on Taylor Ward to have a good year and Byron Buxton to stay healthy. So
But I think those are things I'm also going to attack in the draft. But like, I mean, Byron Buxton had an MVP season last year, so it's like if he's drafted for his value of last year, he's a first round pick. But
yeah.
I can understand why people would be hesitant to say I'm a top 3 keeper. But as the reigning champ, I'm gonna put myself up there. All right.
Your audio's a little fuzzy, by the way. I don't know.
Oh no,
That's better.
is it better?
Yeah, it really is. And then who did you have for the 4th, Stevie?
Yeah, Stevie was my 4th. I think Stevie's team deserves its flowers. I mean, he's done a really good job.
Yeah, his offense is young, which is perfect for the situation that he's in, where he can kind of ride these guys out and just add pieces to it. You know, he's got Junior Caminero, Zach Neto or Nato, whichever one, is one of the most underrated players. Jackson Merrill's so good. Jackson Holiday is going to be just fine. Riley Green is going to be just fine too. I really like him. I feel like he's had, his ups and downs, and he's only 25. So I like Stevie's keepers a lot, and he's even got some good pitching. We could have argued, why he keeps Sasaki, but Sasaki could be a reliever by the middle of the year. I think that'd be a bad keeper for him because he had some other guys maybe he could have kept, but he's got good starting pitching in Luzardo and Cole Reagans and Yamamoto and Cease. Those 4 are better than
those 4 are
pitching
pretty
by
good.
quite a bit.
Yeah,
So
I'd say he's second in pitching to me.
I would say me and Stevie have some of the best pitching keepers, and then you're not even close. But
That's crazy. I think that's crazy.
starting
I got the
pitching
best
wise,
pitcher
no
in
one
the
else
league.
No one else. Who?
Are you serious? Crochet, man. Garrett
He is
Crochet
not
is the
better
best
than
pitcher in the league.
It's not better than Skubal or Skeens.
I disagree.
You don't. He's just on your team.
Hey, who won the championship last year? Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so you won't win this year, so.
Okay. All right. So we're going into the draft. What is your thoughts on the draft?
I think
What are
everyone
your
wants to know who Preston's going to take 1-1. I think you disagree, but I think this draft is not terrible. I think this is a good draft with a lot of talent.
After I've looked at the talent a lot more, I agree. So I'm throwing up on the screen is a graphic of the top hitters available. These are a lot of guys that I think are going to be picked over for a lot of the potential talent that could be coming. So the third baseman for Chicago is on there, and I think he's going to be a stud. And if you wanted my target, so I think John is going to take one of those guys, one of the new third basemen coming over from Japan. I'm not even going to attempt to say their last name. I think that's where John might also target pitching, but we can talk about if John is going with hitting. I think he's going to go with one of those. Preston is going to be a wild card on where he goes, and honestly, I think he could go off towards the end of this board that I have on the screen. I mean, do you think he has a chance of taking Griffin? I just think the way his roster is right now would be dangerous because he has a lot of guys that are already not promised a roster spot. Is he going to take another one with Griffin?
I think if he takes Griffin, that tells me he doesn't want to win this year. He wants to win next year because I think the Pirates could easily not call him up in the first for opening day. I know he hit 2 home runs in that one game, But if he goes 4 for his next 35, 4 for his next 40, he's not making the opening day roster.
And
And
the
surprising,
he's already said that it's a long shot. Like he said, it's a
yeah,
complete long shot. So,
yeah.
but we also know Preston, and I mean, just look at his team. He loves young guys. Uh,
I would consider taking him if I was Preston.
I mean,
If I,
yeah, he's he's going to be potentially a generational talent. It's just interesting to I wonder uh, if he will go in one of Preston's picks. Uh, we already discussed. I think Logan needs to attack pitching, so I'm going to go ahead and throw up the pitchers who are first on the board, uh, off the board now, which is just the top pitchers on the in the league right now. I don't know if Logan's going with any of these guys. Well, he's going to go with some of them, obviously, but I don't know which one he is going to go with in that first pick, because like none of these guys are like a number 2 overall pick. You know what I'm saying? Like he could get any of these guys at 12. Sonny Gray is saying he's the first one off the board. I think we all kind of think that's BS. What are your thoughts? Who's the best pitcher on the board?
it's hard because what happens if Sandy Alcantara has a Cy Young season like he has in the past? He's on here. What if, like, what if Noah Cameron, who I should have kept, goes out and balls out in his year too? What if Sonny Gray has 200 strikeouts, plays for a good team, he's projected 12 wins? If he goes out and gets 16, 15 wins, like Ranger Suarez, like I think you could argue any of these guys really, like Aaron Nola. Let's see what he's got this year. Like, kind of have a bounce back year I don't think he's the best pitcher in the draft, but I think he will have a bounce back year. But I don't know. I think it's hard. I'm glad I don't have to draft a lot of pitchers. And I can kind of wait because there's so many pitchers here that are in the same tier, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's my question for Logan. My question for Logan is: we both agree that none of these pitchers like are dying to get off the board. Are you saving that second overall pick and using it for a hitter, even though you desperately need pitching?
I don't think so. Maybe he could go hitter first pick because then he has the 12th pick and the 14th pick. So if he wants to go hitter first,
But his pitching is
he could. But then he could take pitching.
he doesn't
12th.
have he has one active pitcher.
Yeah,
This is where it gets tough. He has one active pitcher.
yeah. I think he should. I don't know. I could see him taking a batter first pick, but I could also see him going 3 picks. Because if he went hypothetically, if he went Sonny Gray at 2, if he went, I don't know, Robbie Ray, let's say Zach Gallen at 12, and then if he went Trevor Rogers, sorry, or Alcantara, pick 14, it's like his pitching all of a sudden just got 10 times better. I think if he went pitching, his team would. I think if he went pitching 2, 12, and 14th out of those picks, his team would benefit more than going a hitter in the second pick.
So here's a question for you. What about in this hypothetical situation? What if he traded or pick swapped that pick to someone who needs a that pick for a hitter? Could he get more value out of doing something like that, potentially helping his pitching or giving him more assets for the season than he could using that pick for going after a pitcher reaching, essentially, in that situation?
I mean, Stevie has 2 picks in the second round. Preston has 3 picks in the second round. So the opportunity for him to do that is there. It's just, would they want to do that? But, I think if Logan went to Steve and said, hey, I'll give you pick 1.2 for your first and second round picks, would Stevie do that?
And I don't know. Like that's a draft day question, I guess. But I feel like that's something if I was Logan, I would start saying, I really don't need hitting in this draft. Really isn't a pitching I mean, I would say it is a pitching dominant draft, but the high talent is in the bats. Would you agree or would you
I agree.
not?
But there is some high talented pitchers. Like take a chance on Sandy Alcantara. See what he's got.
But
Like,
would you say that's a see what it's got? That's not an ace in the hole by any mean, would you say?
yeah, but neither is Connor Griffin necessarily. Like the
Yeah.
talent's there for him. Like Alcantara is more proven than Connor Griffin.
Oh, 100%. But what about these guys coming over from Japan who are hitting bombs in spring training? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm glad I'm not in Logan's spot. But I would, if I was him, I would try to accumulate as many picks as possible and not give them away for Mookie Betts. But
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. So, uh, what else? Anything else in the draft that you're really looking forward to? Anybody that you got your eye on? Any advice
this is
for
a
guys who
question.
have a lot of picks?
This is a question for Jared. I don't know. I've not. I can look at the trades tab on the Google sheet. Has Jared ever traded a draft pick?
Yeah, he's traded a draft pick with me before.
So I was like, I always feel like Jared. Every time I look, I'm just like, Jared's got all of his picks. But
John very rarely trades draft picks too, though.
yeah, I feel like he's been more open to that lately.
Yeah, for sure. For
I
sure.
think a team like Luke doesn't have a pick until the fourth round. Clayton doesn't have a pick until the sixth round. No, I lied. Clayton has that pick in the third round.
Look at
But
Nate's draft.
Doesn't have a pick. Where's Nathan's first pick? Nathan's first pick is the fifth round.
You know someone who's going to be starving to make a deal on draft day. Nate Dogg.
Nate texts me.
We texted you right now?
Should I text Nate right now?
Oh, no,
No.
I thought you said he just texted you asking for
Not
draft
Nate.
picks.
I said Nate.
I just remember the draft a few years ago. Nate came to, and he was so bored for the first 6 rounds because they didn't have any draft picks.
Happened to Marcus, I think, recently too.
Yeah. I mean, it is tough for those guys. One thing I would definitely suggest is there's a lot of guys in this draft with too many picks. And for some of those guys, I think those are valuable to be able to get guys in the draft rather than having to wait till the waiver wire. So for some of those guys with not enough picks, I would suggest maybe talking to some of those guys, seeing if you can work out a deal for maybe swapping future picks for those picks. Or I think that's always could benefit you in this draft. It won't be anything. It won't be any like sexy picks by any means, but it could help you just getting guys late in the draft. And I think that's where the rest of this conversation goes is who are those guys that we're getting late in the draft that are going to win us the league? Like last year, I remember I got Seth Lugo super late in the draft. I got who was awesome for me. I got Brandon Lowe super second to last pick in the draft. Like those are guys who probably won me the league last year, and I got them nowhere near the first round. So you got any of those guys that you're targeting or have your eyes on this year?
I will say this. Every year going to the draft, I'm so focused on commissioner things because I feel like every offseason we've had big commissioner changes. This year, I finally feel like I've been able to focus on the draft. And so I have prepared a lot for the draft for myself. And I've not really looked big picture for the league and different teams and their needs. And so I can't really say I have my eye on somebody or someone that's like you can get late round. But
Well, you do. You just don't want to give it away.
that would not my I say, yeah. But I think this year there'll be so much talent in the 9th and 10th and all the way to the 15th round. I think there's going to be talent. So
Yeah, I posted on Facebook the other day just the first round last year, and I thought that was interesting to be able to look back on and like kind of make fun of, especially myself. I drafted Jake Berger with the fourth pick. The dude had a terrible year. I mean, he found his stride later on in the year for John, but it is just still interesting to see that sometimes the worst round is the first round, which is interesting. A lot of times your best round is like your fourth or fifth round.
yeah.
So.
I think round one's the hardest because you have the most pressure. Because do you take best player available? Do you take what your team needs? and you have the whole draft board to choose from. Once you get to the fourth round, you're like, all right, I don't have as much to choose from, and the picks get more obvious.
Yeah.
I do. Before we end, I want to talk about changing team names potentially. So
Yeah.
remind me.
Well, go for it right now.
If just for media purposes, try to make I'd like to call it like a brand. Like I would say that my Valier baseball team is my brand. I've got a bluebird is its picture, and I can abbreviate the Valier baseball team as TVBT, and that's my brand. Just for the sake of podcasts and media posts, I make it sound like we're fancy, but
we kind of are. Yeah.
Yeah. It's easier that way to if I talk about Van Way's team, I know I'm talking about blank. If I'm talking about my team, I know I'm talking about the Valier baseball team. Here's the only one I don't think should change is necessarily Jared, because Jared's has been four balls for 20 years, and I'm okay with that. That's his. When I think,
Well, we can brand that. Yeah, we can brand that.
Yeah.
So can you
already? And so I think, just for the sake of, I don't know, everyone can kind of create their own brand and make your fantasy football team your own brand.
Yeah, and this isn't because I am offended that people are making my name their name. If you want to incorporate my name into your brand, that is fine. I just simply, for us, it's so much easier to throw up a logo that and you don't even have to. All you have to do is go to Google and send me something, and I can be able to make it from there. But it's so much easier to throw up a logo for that rather than having to stock your Facebook page and have 4 pictures of you on my computer. So that is what I think the reasoning we're trying to go to that is, and it'll just be better for history books and stuff like that as well. So
yeah, if I go to the history page and I'm like, all right, which I'm guilty of it, because the last time I won, my name was not the Flair baseball team. My stinking team name was President Trophy Curse. And so I looking back on that, I wish my name would have been the Valier baseball team, because that's my brand, and you kind of keep getting at. But
yeah, absolutely.
For the sake of media rights and media purposes, and even just talking about the league, I think it's easier.
I think and how we're going to do that is, if you want to keep it a secret, you can, because we can do a grand reveal on this. If you don't, that's fine too. Luke's already to Southern Illinois Miners. I think that's locked in. I think he's going with it. So that's fine too. We'll just keep rolling with that. So, and as they come out, we'll start throwing some stuff in content wise and podcasts and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
I am too. I think that ESPN changed it to where you can't upload a picture. Did you try that?
I haven't messed with it at all, but something to look into for sure.
I've done it on my computer, and I've done it on my phone, to where I go to my profile picture, and it used to say it only when I go do it on the computer. So I'm going to do it on my computer right now. Yeah, I'd go to my computer and I could click my team. I could change the setting, or I could go change settings. I'm lagging because I'm on the other screen. But then I go to change my profile pic, and it doesn't let me. So if that's the case, just try to find one of, I guess, the ESPN ones that fits best.
So what's funny is mine is right now a PNG from online, and it's allowing it to work. But the second I try to change it, it will only let me change it to selected logos on that are already. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, so if you have a logo that you want to send Van Way that we can post, do that.
Yes. Yeah.
So that way, when we do post about it, we can post your logo.
Yep.
Have it to be something tied with your team name. I wouldn't put mine as, I don't know, something super random, the Rocky Mountains or something.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we are at our time. Probably drug a little bit, but a lot of good stuff, and we're only going to get better. We'll definitely be looking for guests, as especially as we're just waiting for the season. Sometimes this can be entertaining. So we're gonna try to keep this going. I have a baby on the way, so it might be Jordan on Skype. So we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, and we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. We'll get some guests on here and we'll make it fun. And we might not have the graphics or the intro video, but we'll talk ball. I can promise you that. So
All right. Well, we will plan for that, and
we'll see you guys on Sunday night.
we need to have a better what do you call that? A outro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're not very good at the old outro thing. Trying to
That's right.
find a good closing. There we go. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Have a good night, Sandlotters.
Peace.